Which do you want? Rod Stewart with a bit of help from someone called Python? Strange name. Or Jackie Graham? It's a difficult decision, I know. I'll tell you what we'll do, because it's probably only time for... What on earth? Got a coin or something? Oh, dear. Right, here we go. I'm just finding a coin, it's alright. I've had no money sent to me today, it's not been so clever. Right, the one with the hands on, we'll call Tails. Which is a bit of a contradiction, I suppose, but never mind. And Tails will be the Python Lee fella, with Rod Stewart. And Heads, that's the one with the picture of the Queen, will be Jackie Graham. Alright? Heads, Jackie Graham it is. You've got to put some production effort in, haven't you? Quite appropriate, I suppose. Give it a couple of weeks and I probably will. If you want to join us on the phone in, the lines and the first call will be with us immediately after the 11 o'clock news, which is now 15 seconds away. The telephone number, if you do want to join us, is Preston 561,000. Our Rob's taking your calls and he'll be ringing you back. Preston 561,000. The lines are open now. First call after the news.
The 11 o'clock news, this is Alan King.
Ring him if you dare.
Allan Beswick, the late night show.
And the telephone number is Preston 561,000.
We're gonna rock around the clock
Non-stop.
on Red Rose Radio.
Well, I never heard that Python Lee fella. I don't know about you, but I don't think he's on there, you know.
We'll make you laugh. We'll make you smile. You know you have some fun on Red Rose 301.
To the lines, as they say, to talk to our first caller this evening, Catherine. How do?
Good evening, Alan.
Good evening.
I thought we'd get things off to a good start by telling you that you were wrong a little while ago.
So
we're
what's
in a good
new?
mood for later on, you know, for everybody.
Go on, then.
Manfred Mann.
Yes.
It wasn't Manfred Mann singing, it was Paul Jones.
Well, it was Manfred Mann was the band.
You didn't say that. You
What did I
said
say?
Manfred Mann singing. I heard you.
Well, I may well have said that.
Now, come on, you
I'm
do
prepared to accept I said that, and if I did, I'm prepared to accept that technically that is wrong.
this. No, really, it's
But
wrong.
if I'd have said, here is the Beatles singing, then two of them wouldn't have been. But would I have been right or wrong?
You're evading the issue.
I'm not evading the issue, I'm telling you, if you are
No,
going
you
to...
would have been right,
I am...
because the Beatles would have been singing. Two or
Two
three
of them,
or
but then
one.
again... But as many as would have been, wouldn't have been.
But that's not the point, because Manfred Mann is not Paul Jones. They're two distinct people.
No, Manfred Mann is the
band.
name. Manfred Mann is not the name of just the individual. That is also the name of the band.
Also, yes, but it's the name of an individual.
Yes,
and
it
he
is.
does sing.
Yes, he
on
does
a number
sing.
of their
Yes, he
records.
does sing. But the fact
But not
still
everybody.
remains that collectively, the collective Manfred Mann, via the auspicious Paul Jones, were doing the performing. And performing, in the context of that record, could be loosely defined as singing. So I accept your criticism
You're wriggling.
and reject. I'm not wriggling.
wriggling.
I've already said at the outset of the conversation, I said, if you're going to be splitting hairs and pedantic about it, the person Manfred Mann was not doing the singing.
Thank you.
But the band Manfred Mann, in its singing connotation, were.
This is good.
Paul
Carry on,
Jones.
go on.
Paul Jones was the main singer of Manfred Mann.
Yes, but Manfred Mann sang quite a lot of times as
It
well.
doesn't matter. Paul Jones, the person, was the main singer in Manfred Mann. Rather like if you say this is the Dave Clark Five singing. Most of the time, it was Mike Smith.
This is true.
So if I said Dave Clark 5 is singing this, when only Mike Smith 1 was singing it, I'd still be right.
Are we both right then?
No, I am. Sir Alan.
You have been Beswicked.
can't both be right. There's only one of us getting paid. How do... Sheila.
Hello, Alan. You're
Hello.
right.
Well, usually.
I think I'd just like to talk about, you've had a few calls this week about these salesmen that come at your door.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to maybe stick up for them a little bit. I've no connection with any of them at all, but I do feel sometimes the public are really hard on them. I know they can
Why
be a
not? They
nuisance.
deserve it.
Pardon?
Why not? They deserve it.
Well, let's face it, today unemployment is at a high rate, and I think they're just trying to earn a bob or two.
Well, we know what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and sometimes I think their service can be valid, because I know a couple of people, elderly couple, and they don't get out a lot, and, you know, they did find the service of some value. They actually did buy the product. That is just one, you know. But what I'm trying to say is, they come to my door, and I usually find them very nice. And
Well, of course they're nice. They're smarmy, two-faced, slimy people. Of course they're nice. If he comes up to you and says, buy me double glaze and I'll kick your face in, you're not going to buy it, are you?
no, but I think also...
So he's nice. It's in his interest to be nice.
I
That
think
doesn't
it's
alter
the
the
way-
fact that he's still a gangster.
I think it's the way you talk to them as well. I mean, I just say to them, well, I don't think you should waste your time. I've just got
Yeah,
no...
but the trouble is, Sheila, I don't want to be doubled with them. I don't want to answer the damn door. I
No,
don't want the
I do-
slimy
yeah,
slugs
I do
knocking at
under-
my door.
I do understand that, but I don't find that, you know, terrible, and I just
Well, okay,
sorry.
you don't find it terrible, but I do. My life is far too important to be disturbed by snotty little slugs at me door.
Yeah,
So I don't want them pounding me door. Let them stand by the window if they like and wait for me to walk past, and when they do, I can pee on them. I cannot be doing with them.
Yeah, I do suppose you've got a good point, but so many people have knocked them this week. I thought I'd like to stick up for them a little bit and just
Well,
say...
that's fine. That sounds like someone that says, listen, you've had 15 people on your programme complaining about rapists. I'm coming on to defend them. If you're defending them just because they've been criticised a lot, then fine. It's a nice Christian motive. But they don't need defending. They don't want defending. They want damn well banning.
All right, and I've got my point over. And also about the people that say about these leaflets, I just put them straight in the bin.
Well, I do as well.
You know, I mean-
Unless... What I sometimes do, the post office have got wise to this, which upsets me a bit. What I sometimes do is put return to sender.
Oh, that's
And then
good.
they have to pay twice.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or the other alternative, but it costs you an envelope, which is a bit of a bind, is get the leaflet, put it in an envelope, and then
Yeah.
address it and send it off without a stamp on.
Without a stamp.
Because then they have to pay even more.
I see.
That's brilliant, you see.
I'll try and
If
remember
everybody
that
did
one.
that, they'd stop the day after.
I'll
I
try and
promise.
remember that.
All right.
By the way, have you been at the pizza house at Lancaster lately?
Which one? There's a few. The margaritas, the one I
That's
go
right.
in most, yes.
My daughter works there. I'm speaking from Blackpool, and my daughter says she sees you in there having a good scoff.
A good scoff? I've never had a good scoff in my life. She means a delicate consummation. Consummation? Oh, no, it's not that. A delicate
No,
consuming of a pizza.
A good old scoff.
A good scoff
Anyway,
indeed.
nice to talk to you.
And you loved Terra.
Did you have a good time this afternoon at the cricket?
I didn't go.
Oh, it's good job I didn't go. I was going to go and see you.
Well, you'd have been disappointed.
Bye.
I'm not going to one on Sunday either.
Yeah.
How do, Dave?
Hello, Alan. A barber who lives in a village shaves everybody that doesn't shave himself. Who shaves the barber?
He can shave himself.
But he shaves everybody that doesn't shave himself.
Oh, I see what the problem is. Oh, you're with me now. Let's have a think about
Can I just
this.
mention something before you...
No. You're not allowed to do dedications if that's what you
No,
mean.
it's in the dedication. It's just a problem that was posed on another radio station some time back, and I wasn't able to hear the answer. So
Well, we
I
haven't
don't-
done this one yet. We haven't. Don't be giving us another. I'll be getting a
No,
headache.
no, listen, I don't know the answer to the question I've just posed you, so that's why I phoned you.
Oh.
So either
So a
hope-
barber
with that-
shaves everybody in the village
That doesn't shave himself.
that doesn't shave himself.
Who shaves the barber? Now, I don't know the answer. I'm hoping either yourself or one of your listeners may be able to provide the answer.
There's some reason why that isn't right.
Well, I
The
know.
barber shaves everybody who doesn't shave himself.
Perhaps there isn't an answer, but...
It's one of those statements. It's a nonsense statement that can't be right.
Well, as I say, I wasn't able to hear the answer. I
Go
mean,
on
there
then,
must have
anyway.
been some sort of
Right,
answer
well, we've
given.
got that out of the way. Right. I've
Okay.
blown a fuse.
All right. So if you don't know the answer, or if anybody else has heard the answer, or can come up with a...
Well, I feel
an
sure
answer.
we'll have one or two answers, but how accurate they will be, David, I'm forced to say I do not know.
Okay, anyway, thanks
We shall
very
wait and
much.
see. Thank you. So there's the question. I'm sure it's one of those nonsense riddles that don't have answers, but the barber in the village shaves everybody who does not shave himself. Who shaves the barber? I'm goosed if I know.
Can you believe it? A complete luxury fitted bedroom of real quality for just £350 plus VAT. It's true. At M&S Fitted Bedrooms of Preston and Bolton. For £350, we'll design, plan and fit 2 wardrobes, 1 bridging unit, 2 corner displays and 2 bedside cabinets. Do not buy a fitted bedroom till you've visited M&S Fitted Bedrooms, 342 Blackpool Road, Fulwood, Preston, or 156 Blackburn Road, Bolton. But hurry, this offer's for a limited period only. Open Monday to Saturday 10 till 4, Sundays 12 till 3.
Shop within the superb surroundings of Preston's Fishergate Shopping Centre. Conveniently located next to the railway station, the centre has many high-quality stores, plus the new-look Debenhams, Asda, Under the Clock Restaurant, and the largest surface car park in Preston. Come to the Fishergate Shopping Centre. It's Preston's most sophisticated shopping experience.
When you think about cars, it pays to think of John Wilding.
The Garstang Agricultural and Horticultural Show is this Saturday. There's something for everyone at this great annual event, and this year's show promises to be the best yet. John Wilding and a superb range of e-registration Fords will be there. Smithy Caravan Park with a quality range of caravans will be there. Make sure you're there. Don't miss the Garstang Show this Saturday, August the 1st at Wire Lane, Garstang.
When you think about cars, it pays to think of John Wilding. John Wilding!
Young Ben has been giving some thought to his future career, as befits any ambitious youngster. Engineering seems to beckon, for he continues to test the strength of lovely soft Kleenex Velvet toilet tissue. Earlier this week he spanned the perilous gorge between his bed and the toy chest with the Kleenex Velvet suspension bridge. Teddy was the first to cross. Mother, however, seemed curiously unimpressed.
Kleenex Velvet. Softness is our strength.
Hello, Steve. How do Keith?
How do, Alan?
What do you want?
In your last customer that rang up, about the farmer. I don't see any
Farmer?
reason... Yeah, but, well, the barber.
Barber.
Why can't the barber from the next village come along and cut his hair? Or shave him off?
Well, if the barber from the next village comes along, then the barber from the next village is coming into village A and shaving somebody who does not shave himself. Therefore, I've worked it out! The barber's a woman.
Good on you.
The barber's a woman. She doesn't shave at all, except maybe the legs and under the arms a bit. I've cracked it. The barber's a woman. That's the answer.
Right, no,
anyway,
I want
the reason the answer you gave isn't correct is because the barber from the next village would be shaving one of the people of the village that did not shave himself.
Right.
Well, the barber's a woman is the answer.
Okay. Now what I wanted. A lot of people in this county seem to think that people from Yorkshire are a load of turds.
Well, I don't know whether the term is correct, but the ambiance is it.
I don't think it is.
Well, weird, aren't they,
I'd like
Yorkshire
to
people?
defend Yorkshire.
Pardon?
I'd like to defend Yorkshire.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people would like to, but you can't think of out to say.
Well, I can.
Go on,
What has Lancashire got that Yorkshire cannot get the same or better?
then. Lancashire people.
Yorkshire people are better.
Well, they won't be Lancashire people.
Yorkshire people beat Lancashire people.
Well,
Simple.
that's a matter of personal opinion, and yours is wrong. But what you said was, what can Yorkshire people not get that Lancashire people can get? And the answer is Lancashire people.
Yes, but Yorkshire people can
Well,
get
it
Lancashire
doesn't
people.
matter. They cannot get Lancashire people. You said
They
what
can.
can't? They can how?
They can easily. 2 Yorkshire people get married, come live in Lancashire, have a kid. That's a Lancashire person they've got in it.
Well, it's not Yorkshire that's got it then.
But 2 Yorkshire people have got a
No, you
Lancashire
said
person.
what? No, they haven't.
Yes, they have.
No, they haven't.
Why haven't they? If 2
You
Yorkshire
don't-
people get married,
Listen, you
have a
don't
kid in Lancashire.
listen. You don't own your children. They own you.
They've still got them though, haven't they?
You haven't got them at all. You
Of course
don't
you
own
have.
your children.
Of course you've got them.
No, you don't. You rent them. That's why they cost so much.
If you have a kid, that kid is yours until
No,
the
it
age
isn't.
of 80.
It seems to be yours, but it doesn't do anything you tell it, and you pay vast quantities of money to it. You pay it to live with you. That's all. That's not owning it. That's renting it.
Well, I disagree with you.
Well, you disagree all you like, but there's the truth of it.
Well, I still disagree. And
Well, you're entitled to disagree. One of the great privileges that millions of men have died to give you the privilege to be wrong. How do Ian?
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
I rang up some radio station tonight at 10:15. Can I name it?
Feel it's free. I don't care.
It's Piccadilly.
Yeah.
And you obviously know the DJ.
No.
10:15
No.
tonight.
No.
Jim Reeves?
Fine, now you're telling me. I didn't know. Now I'm aware.
Didn't you know?
I don't know what time his programme starts. I've never listened to it. I don't see why someone who does the best programme should listen to the person attempting to do the second best.
No, but I rang him up, right?
I don't know whether it's right or not. You tell me. I listen for the time being.
I rang him up, and he got my number and my name and everything, but he didn't ring me back.
Well, he's obviously very wise. One wonders why we did. How do, Brian?
How do, Alan? Should we have a talk about something sensible?
I have no idea what you want to have a talk about, or indeed whether we should.
All right, well, we will then.
We may.
All right, we might. As we've had some sensible conversations this week...
Can we get to point?
Oh, to get to point, lad. Right. Channel Tunnel. Rabies. No one said nothing how they're going to stop rabies coming into England.
Will you tell me how it's going to get into England via the Channel Tunnel?
Vermin.
What vermin?
Well, it's a dry tunnel, isn't it?
One would expect so. It'd be a bit worrying if it's not.
The average fox on a night running around can cover up to 45 mile.
Yes.
And there's, what, 24, 25 mile tunnel?
Yes.
Wouldn't take a fox too long to find, there's a hole, I'll go down that and boom.
Yes, but the fox generally requires some kind of objective, some desire to reach the other end, and it's not likely to really just run into the tunnel and think, another 25 miles of this and I can have a quick bite of an English chicken and then run back again. Although it covers that mileage, it doesn't travel that far away from its den, from its lair.
But rats do.
Why did you start with foxes then?
Well, just giving an example of
yes,
vermin.
I fully accept. Well, rats don't travel 25 miles looking for food.
Oh, they can go thousands of miles looking for food.
Yes, we're not contemplating what they can do. I feel certain that a rat, surrounded by food, is not likely to embark upon a 25-mile trek in order to find something to eat. It'll go in the other direction where it may only be 5 yards away.
Most nocturnal vermin will go for darkness for safety, won't they?
They will go into the darkness for safety, to hide, but not if that darkness is full of horrible noises, as the tunnel is likely to be.
Well, I had the...
You seem to be goosed in each corner.
No, I'm not goosed in each corner.
You have been so far. You've put 3 theories forward. They've all been destroyed. Ring me back when you find a 4th. How do, Julian?
Hello, Alan. I wonder if I could talk about 3 things, please.
I also wonder. How do, John?
Hello, Alan. I'd like to talk about your use of the Latin phrase ad nausea.
Ad nausea.
The trouble is, if you check the dictionary, it's got an M on the end, ad nauseam.
I know, but I'm awful at pronunciation.
Well, the trouble is, I have to keep a bucket by the radio every night all the time you're talking about nausea.
Do you?
And then the wife gets up in the morning.
The wife? What is the wife?
Oh, my wife.
Your wife?
Yeah, she comes down in the morning and smells the nausea, and we're getting sick of it.
Well, you're being nauseous ad nauseam, it would seem. How do, Alistair?
Hello. Alan, are you a racialist?
Yes, I suppose I am. We all are, to some extent.
And last night you put a guy down for calling Pakistanis Pakis, correct?
This is correct.
Okay. Will you agree on my point about South Africa and racialism?
I'll have to discover what the point is before I consider agreeing or, for that matter, disagreeing.
Okay. What do you think of people...
You've asked me to agree with a point, so you better make the point so that the conversation can progress.
Okay. People here tend
What
to
is the point you want me to agree with?
That people here are biased towards South African blacks.
Some people are, some people are not. By here, I presume you mean the United Kingdom?
Yes.
Well, some are biased towards the South African blacks, and some of them are not.
Wouldn't you say a majority were, due to media distribution?
I don't know what the reason is, but in a poll, I'm prepared to accept that the majority probably would be. Never having taken such a poll, and not aware of any such poll having been taken, I know not, but I'm prepared to accept that that is probably the likely outcome, or the probable outcome, of such a poll.
Now, wouldn't you say that people here, the ignorant people here, should be enlightened by being told the truth about South Africa?
The truth is, unfortunately, not a commodity that anyone possesses.
Therefore, the the majority of the population here are ignorant?
I think it is inevitable that the population of one country will be ignorant of another country. Otherwise, they would have, or in order to be non-ignorant, they would have to reside in the country. Their information can only ever be supplied at best second-hand, more likely at third or fourth-hand, and each time the information transpires or transposes from one to t'other, it is indeed altered by the prejudices of the person conveying it.
Well,
but I don't see any way of overcoming that.
Well, then you think
What point are you wanting me to agree with? Because I'm getting bored with this conversation.
Okay, good night.
Good night. Obviously don't have a point that you want me to agree with. How do Jeff?
Hello, Alan. I wonder if you can help me. What it is, we're doing a thing for scanner appeal at Blackpool, and we need a bus. Hello?
I don't have a bus.
You don't have a bus?
This is
well, what
true.
it was, I was talking to the people at the roadshow, Red Rose Roadshow, the other day, and they said, get in touch with the office.
Well, I'm not the office, so why are you ringing me?
Well, I don't know the number to get in touch with the office.
Look it up in Yellow Pages, ask directory enquiries, or look in the telephone book.
There's no idea where I might get my hands on a bus to be able to do a roadshow on the promenade.
In a word, no, I have no idea.
Do you think Red Rose Radio will be willing to help?
I have no idea. It's not for me to say. That's a matter you will have to address to the office. That is why the people on the roadshow at the time suggested that you do address your question to the office.
Thank you very much. I'll phone the office. Thanks.
Phone the office. What an incredibly good idea. I don't know how you came to it. How do Colin?
All right, Alan.
Yes.
I'd like to...
Mr. Smith, Nissan Man, you have accepted the car challenge to sell 300 cars in 150 hours.
No problem. I'll do anything and everything that's legal, decent, honest, and truthful to help the motorist get the car he wants. New Nissans, demonstrators, and used cars. And for every car I sell, 20 pounds goes to the National Children's Home. You want a car? I'll use all my powers to guarantee the best deal.
The car challenge is now on at Mr. Smith, the Nissan Man, Moore Lane, Bolton.
When it comes to buying and selling houses, look for the sign that says professional action. No sale, no charge. 7-day opening. Big response and fast results from tomorrow's kind of estate agent.
When the sign says White Gates, you're on the way to a sale.
This is Paul Gambaccini. Last week, Bob Seger scored his first American #1 with Shakedown. Will he hold or will you too take over? We're brought to you with Pepsi, the choice of America.
So join Paul Gambaccini on Red Rose, Saturday at 6 o'clock.
If you're not a lemonade drink, you'll never get an American DJ on a sponsored programme, will you? How do Julian?
Hello, Alan. Would you help me, please?
Yeah.
I came home today and this cheque, the dog had ripped the cheque up for £45 10p. And,
Is that how much you paid the dog to do it?
No. no,
That's
I
what
came
it sounds like. The dog ripped a cheque up for 45. OK, dog, rip that up and I'll give you 45 quid. No, that's not enough. OK, 45 quid and 10 pence. OK. Don't be a crap.
Could you tell me how I could go about getting me money, please?
Yeah, wait for it to crap. How do Sean?
Hello, Alan.
Yes. Goodbye. How do Sue?
Hi, Alan. I've thought of another answer for your riddle.
Another answer?
Yes. You know, you said it could be a woman. Have you ever thought that the barber could ever be a toy? Don't need to shave.
It could be that, yes.
Just thought I'd tell
But you see, the problem with that is that the question said, or the statement said, that the barber shaves everyone that doesn't shave himself. Now that implies that there are no people, no men at least, with beards. Because if they don't shave themselves, the barber shaves them. And if he doesn't shave himself, then the implication is that he is shaved by somebody else.
Yeah, right.
So it has to be that it's a woman.
It's got to be then, yeah. I thought of that
Or
one
at least-
as well, but you said
Or
it.
at least that's the answer I've come up with, and I'm damned if I'm going to change it.
Right, okay then.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
I'll do to somebody, but I've not a clue who, but I forgot. Who's on one, Rod? Rod, oh, I'll do Alan.
Hello, Alan. You said yesterday in your show, you talked to this
It's a
fellow
programme.
on the programme. You said,
Hold on.
hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello!
You said yesterday in your programme that you were talking to some fella about cricket, and the fella called them packies. And you clicked them off soon after saying he was racist, pig. They were your words. Later on in the show, you were talking to some American-sounding lady, and you had a good conversation with her. And then later on in the programme, you said that the Americans were the snake's belly or something like that. Don't you think you were a bit...
Lower than a snake's belly.
Lower than a snake's belly. Don't you feel a bit hypocritical when you just clip someone off because you...
Well, I consider that the term packy is an offensive term, primarily because those people themselves consider it to be an offensive term. The fact that Americans are lower than a snake's belly, there's nothing I can do about. They are lower than a snake's belly, and the facts are there. It's a racist statement, but you can't make a statement about a race without making a racist statement. Americans are lower than a snake's belly. How do? No one, because it's exactly 11:30.
Win £50, £20, £15 each week at the Newmarket and M2 Market, Waterloo Road, Blackpool.
How do, Andrew? Come on, cloth ears, we've not got all night. Good night. How do, Brian?
I do, Alan.
What do you want?
I'm going to give you a couple of little poems if you don't mind.
One will do.
One?
Yeah.
Okay. I jump, I shout, I scream for joy. I was here before Kilroy. Sorry to spoil your little joke. I was here, but my pencil broke. Oh, by the way...
you got that off a crap house wall.
Oh, you sit there reading, do you?
Got to do something, haven't you? Side of that, I'd count the blackheads on your knees.
Hey, all these jobs you've said over the last couple of years I've listened in, do you realise if you'd fill cards out for them and put them in a job shop, there'd be no unemployment? But there again, this being nearest thing to a job since you're a milk monitor at school, isn't it? Good night, sir.
Well, I don't think this is actually a job, is it?
Oh, I don't know. You could get the job's worth off Esther, couldn't you?
Could
Or
get
you
the
could
job's
always
worth
go
out,
to
yes.
Mrs. Butler's lad and join him. Because you know what he is, an advert for you, don't you?
Butler?
Yes. No,
He's-
tight ass.
Yes, I know who you mean.
Yes. He's an advert for Nick, isn't he? He's always on the bum.
Who, Butler?
Yeah.
He's a good lad, he's Billy.
He's the tightest thing on this earth, I'll tell you.
I disagree with you.
I know what he's like. I've been in the pub a few times with him.
Well, he doesn't buy drinks for imbeciles, which is probably why you've gone thirsty, but he's a very nice chap. How do, Shirley?
Hello.
Hello.
I've just listened to you saying about the barber thing.
Yeah.
I decided that they either had a beard
Well, we've just eliminated that, haven't we?
or it was a woman.
The woman I thought of myself, actually, and we did that, but we've eliminated the he had a beard one on the basis of the question itself. The question makes the presumption that every man is clean-shaven.
No, they're not. As a barber
but it does,
myself-
doesn't it? Well, listen, I'm not saying every man is clean-shaven. Listen, what the statement said was the barber shaves everybody who does not shave himself. Now, that implies it refers to men only. Not the magazine, but the... Right, but it also says that the barber shaves everyone who doesn't shave himself, which means there are no unshaven people in the village, unshaven men.
Right.
Doesn't it?
Well, it could do, but...
No, it
that's
could
a bit-
do. No, we've got to deal with the English language as it is. And it says, first of all, it refers to him, therefore it is men. And then it says the barber shaves everyone who does not shave himself. So the men either shave themselves or are shaved by the barber. That's what the statement says. So they are all clean-shaven. But it also uses the term him, which means that the women don't necessarily get shaved. So the barber is, by deduction, a woman.
Of course it is.
So we're right.
That's right.
Well, what are you prattling on about beards for, then?
Missed that bit.
The matter with you?
I missed that bit.
Well,
I
you
was
should
getting-
pay attention.
I was trying to find the phone number for this place.
Well, it's not good enough. That's nothing like an excuse.
Okay, then.
Right.
Thank you very much. Good night.
How do, Tony?
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
Hiya, mate. Unfair dismissal is a subject I wish to speak about.
Go on.
I've worked for a national company in the windscreen trade. I won't name them, but I've worked
Right.
for them for just over 6 months.
Yes.
Now, this year, I was sacked because I wouldn't work overtime on a Sunday. So, when I went to the unemployment office, they said that my benefit would be suspended, pending, an inquiry by themselves as to regards why I left the employment, you see. So, when they wrote to my former employer, he wrote back saying the reason why, why I was finished, sacked, and he said that it was because I'd refused to work overtime. Now, surely to God, there must be some type of legislation that backs the the actual employees, where they don't have to work any more than a 40-hour week.
There is no such legislation except in very specific and a limited number of industries. Yours, unfortunately, is not one of them.
It's not.
No.
You see, what it was is I've been before the tribunal, not personally, but by letter, and the case was rejected, and I didn't get anywhere.
Well, this one wouldn't get anywhere either, because
No.
you've not actually been an employee long enough to have a hearing.
No, that is right.
I know it's right.
I've
I'm
seen
telling
the
you.
solicitor, and he says that unless you've worked for a firm just
104
over 2
weeks.
years,
That's right.
yeah, you've not got a leg to stand on.
That is correct.
But surely that is a little bit of an unfair situation.
No, it isn't an unfair situation. If you think about it, the government has to encourage employers to take on employees.
Yeah.
They won't take them on if they are going to be brought into the position of going to an unfair dismissal tribunal if they can't get rid of them again fairly quickly. Now, it used to be 13 weeks.
Yeah.
After 13 weeks, you were protected.
Right.
Then it was extended to 26 weeks.
Yeah.
Then some years ago, it was extended to 52 weeks.
Right.
And then about 5 years ago, and I could be wrong on that, but quite a long time ago, it was extended to 104, which means the employer, if you like, has 2 years in which to make his or her mind up about the employee.
Yeah, you see, the conflicting situation in my case is that he says that he sacked me because I refused to work overtime. Now, that week in particular, when I was sacked...
Why do you think he sacked you?
Well, he said...
Tell me why you think he sacked you. That's the question. I don't want to know what he said. Tell me why you think he sacked you.
Because I refused to carry out work on a Sunday when he told me to.
So
do
you
work.
also agree that he sacked you for not working outside your normal hours?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, there's no dispute of fact. That's why he sacked you. That could be argued to be an unfair dismissal, but it's not going to be argued at the tribunal because you haven't the right to go there. You haven't got a leg to stand on. The solicitor was right. You just wasted 20 pence. How do, Margaret?
Hello, Alan.
Yes.
I'm driving incidentally, I'm a Yorkshire type.
You have a lot to bear, love. What can we do for you?
I've been driving myself mad trying to remember the name of the bloke who used to stand outside the Ministry of Defence and give the bulletins during the Falklands War.
Oh, I can't remember his name either.
His name?
No, I can't. I think it was Ian something. No, nobody next door can remember.
It was definitely Ian somebody.
Yes. No, I can't remember. Somebody will remember. So who was the man who became a world-famous character for a very short space of time during the Falklands conflict? That's what we want to know. We think it was Ian Summer. I can see him now, stood on his podium. It was Ian something, I'm certain.
It's the time that you take, it's a coat, it's a break, it's a pause in the beat, a cool from the heat. Ah, just what I need. It's a hit, Coca-Cola is it. It's put them on hold, that Coke is ice cold. It's let the train wait, don't care if I'm late. It's just how you feel, it's the break that's for real. It's a kick, it's a hit, it's a go, it's a kick, it's a hit, it's a Coke, Coca-Cola is it.
Now, Pioneer Mutual bring you the Family Protection Plus plan. It'll help you cope if you or a member of your family are involved in an accident. The Pioneer Mutual Protection Plus plan will help soothe the pain of injury with up to £1,200 income per month if you or your spouse are in hospital. There's also a lump sum if any member of your family is permanently injured. All for just a few pence a day. To find out more, simply phone Joan at Pioneer Mutual on Preston 58833. That's 58833. There goes another one in the 300 car challenge at Mr. Smith the Nissan Man, and another £20 to the National Children's Home.
Looking for a great day out for the kids, but want to enjoy yourself as well? Come along to Morecambe Leisure Park. Youngsters can spend a full day for just £1.50, and you can relax in the picnic areas, the modern cafe, or even have a drink at the bar. Morecambe Leisure Park is a great place for the kids to visit and a great day out for you. Phone Morecambe 424444 now for details.
How do Nikki?
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
Why are you all waffling on about this barber being a woman?
Because some gormless prat asked us the question. Why else?
It's obvious what the answer is.
Go on.
The statement was, the barber in the village who shaves everybody else
who does not shave himself, who
Yeah.
shaves the barber, was it not?
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it really simplistically. The barber in the village is the barber. He shaves everybody else, but the barber does not shave himself. Do you understand?
No.
There's a barber. He shaves everybody else, but he doesn't shave himself. It's just the way it's worded.
Go on, tell me about it.
Well, there's a bloke who's got a beard. He's a barber in the village who shaves everybody else. That's all the other men in the village who does not shave himself. That's the barber. Do you get me?
No.
Oh, come on. A man of your intelligence should understand that. I'm sure everybody else understands.
It would seem not, because our switchboard is jammed with people saying it was a woman.
It's not a woman.
Well, fine, but you seem to be the only one in step.
No.
You're not in step.
It'll come to you soon.
I hope it does. All right, Nikki.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Last time I saw somebody called Nikki, she was hanging on a washing line. How do, Chris? Oh,
Hello,
no, that's
Alan.
Nicky.
Coming off the tangent, and I'm not talking about barbers, you were on previously to a gentleman talking about rabies crossing through the Channel Tunnel.
Yes.
And you said that foxes don't wander particularly far from their own habitat, I suppose, their own breeding
Aside from their
territory.
den, yes. He said they travel up to 25 miles. Go on.
Yeah. Well, he did actually say 45 miles, and the
My
Channel Tunnel is
apologies.
25 miles long, right?
That's right, yes.
Yeah, right. At the end of the breeding season for foxes, the cubs have to disperse into areas where territory does not exist. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Now, if at the end of the breeding season foxes that are already infected, cubs that are already infected with rabies, do travel these distances, surely there is a possibility that they can travel through the Channel Tunnel because they have no territory in which to stay.
I wouldn't have thought that the environment of the Channel Tunnel would be something that a fox would tolerate for the length of time it would need to tolerate it in order to traverse